Have you ever heard of Adwa? Have you ever heard of the emperor who refused to kneel to a European power? Perhaps you have never heard the name Menelik. It happened more than 130 years ago. Stay with me. Because what happened in March 1896 did not just change Ethiopia, it reshaped how Africa saw itself. He became a symbol of freedom. Let me tell you how. March 1st, 1896, the mountains of northern Ethiopia. In the highlands near Adwa, the morning light rises slowly over a land that has known empires, faith, and independence for centuries. Italian forces advance, confident. They believe this will be another colonial victory, another African territory added to a European empire. They believed Ethiopia was divided. They believed it would fall like the others. They were wrong, because what they faced was not a fragmented land, but a united nation. At the center stands Emperor Menelik, calm, observant, prepared. Beside him stands Empress Taytu Betul, brilliant, politically astute, and unwavering in her belief that Ethiopia must never bow to foreign domination. This is not a spontaneous uprising. This moment has been prepared for years. To understand Adwa, we must go back to the Berlin Conference of 1884-85. In Berlin, European powers divided Africa with rulers and pens. No African leaders were invited. No consent was asked. Britain, France, Germany, Belgium, Portugal, all claiming territories. Italy, newly unified in 1861, arrived late to colonial ambition. Hungry for prestige, eager to prove itself a great power, it turned its eyes towards the Horn of Africa. In 1885, Italy established control over Eritrea along the Red Sea coast. From there, it looked south toward Ethiopia. But Ethiopia was different. It was an ancient empire with its own script, its own Orthodox Christian tradition dating back to the 4th century, its own political structure. And soon it would have a leader who understood exactly what Europe was doing. Born Sahle Mariam in Ankober in 1844, Menelik grew up during the Zemene Mesafint, the era of princes when regional lords competed for power and central authority was fragile. As a young man, he experienced captivity, politics, negotiation. He learned patience. By the time he became emperor in 1889, he had already transformed the region of Shewa into a strong and modernizing state. Menelik understood something crucial. African kingdoms were falling not because they lacked courage, but because they were divided. So he chose a different path. He invested in diplomacy. He purchased modern rifles from France and other European suppliers. He secured artillery. He strengthened trade relationships. By the mid-1890s, Ethiopia possessed tens of thousands of modern rifles. But weapons were not his greatest achievement. Unity was. In 1889, Menelik signed the Treaty of Wuchale with Italy. The treaty was written in both Amharic and Italian, but the two versions were not the same. In the Amharic version, Article 17 stated that Ethiopia may use Italy to conduct its foreign affairs. In the Italian version, the same article stated that Ethiopia must conduct its foreign affairs through Italy. One word. May became must. When Menelik discovered the discrepancy, he did not panic. He denounced the treaty in 1893. Italy refused to back down. General Oreste Baratieri prepared for war. Menelik did not stand alone. Together, they united regional leaders. By late 1895, Ethiopia had mobilized a massive army. Farmers, cavalry, and warriors formed not a chaotic mass, but a disciplined and coordinated force. At the heart of this mobilization stood Menelik II, supported by Empress Taytu Betul, who strengthened logistics, organization, and national resolve. He called upon the great regional leaders of his time, and Ethiopia answered. Commanders such as Ras Makonnen, Ras Alula, Ras Mikhail, Negus Tekle Hinanot, Ras Mengesha, Dejazmak Balchasafo, and Fitarari Gebeyahu stood with courage and determination. And beyond the names recorded in history, many others carried the weight of this moment. Regional leaders, warriors, nobles, and ordinary citizens stood together. Christians and Muslims stood side by side, not divided, but united in purpose, disciplined in action, and resolute in defense of their homeland. And when the morning of March 1st, 1896 arrived, they were ready. In early 1896, Italian forces advanced toward Adwa. Baratieri commanded approximately 17,000 to 20,000 troops, including Italian soldiers and Eritrean askari. He planned a surprise night march, but his maps were inaccurate. Ethiopian scouts monitored every movement. Menelik positioned his forces on high ground in a crescent formation. On the morning of March 1st, 1896, the battle began. Italian columns, separated by terrain, struggled to coordinate. Ethiopian artillery opened fire from elevated positions. Cavalry units moved strategically across the battlefield. Regional commanders executed coordinated attacks. The numerical advantage, terrain knowledge, and strategic preparation shifted momentum quickly. The Italian brigades quickly became isolated from one another. General Albertone was captured during the heat of the battle. Thousands of Italian troops were killed or taken prisoner. By midday, the Italian army collapsed. Adwa was not luck, it was preparation, it was strategy, it was unity. The news of the victory shocked the entire continent of Europe. A European colonial army had been decisively defeated by an African empire. Italy was forced to sign the Treaty of Addis Ababa in 1896, recognizing Ethiopia's full sovereignty. Adwa became more than a battle, it became a symbol. Across the African diaspora, it represented resistance, dignity, and possibility. Menelik's leadership did not end at the battlefield. He strengthened diplomatic ties. He worked to define borders through treaties. He encouraged modernization projects, including infrastructure and communications. He understood that sovereignty required both strength and stability. As an Ethiopian, I speak of this history with pride, not pride rooted in anger, but pride rooted in intelligence. Menelik did not seek war for glory. He prepared to defend independence. And perhaps his greatest lesson remains for us today. Unity is strength. Division weakens. But when a people stand together, guided by vision, patience, and courage, they become unbreakable. Adwa was not only a victory of arms, it was a victory of foresight. And Menelik II did not merely win a battle. He safeguarded Ethiopia's future. He defended its sovereignty. He proved that unity is stronger than empire. At Adwa, Ethiopia did not kneel. It stood. And because it stood, Africa stood taller. That is the legacy of Adwa. Not just victory, but dignity. Not just survival, but sovereignty. And that legacy still lives in the heart of Ethiopia, in the heart of Africa, and in the spirit of all who believe in freedom.
ፈረሱ como segue o timeline Saloa abate when I want to go so mili to curso Borgis ፈረሱ como segue o timeline Saloa abate when I want to go so mili to curso Dania la nota famela fitate gimenike Selfum becoraza beto fitono Versade Gania la nota famela fitate gimenike Selfum becoraza beto fitono Versade Jetoturas bushvokra Adwa Ethiopia Victory To Bremix Before the horses either reach the battle line I hold my ground, yeah, I'm taking my time Our father's verse, spark the flame, let it go Yeah, empire fire, a shot Menelik, let it go We caught him out with technique do tonight, salo abate when no one to cross on me, to corso. Porgis, better so come salo tonight,